I ended up getting a really bad infection that led to sepsis, and I had no idea. Like, I was just extremely sick, and in my addiction, I was just like, wasn't a big deal, you know? Like, you didn't think to go to the hospital. I thought maybe I was dope sick or something, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
My back hurt, and like, I was just like, well, maybe I just hurt my back doing something. I don't know. My sister actually found me basically, and she said I looked gray and like, it was just awful. And she made me go to the hospital, and yeah, I found out I had sepsis and my lung had been collapsed for at least a week,
Woo.
maybe longer.
Hi, I'm Ruth Barclay, and this is Taste Your Magic, where we interact with gifted people who are going through developments and stages of their lives, healing work. I travel around the world doing healing work and giving readings. And what we love to do on the channel lately is give personal readings for you guys to watch. And it can be anything from an oracle reading, which is anything about the individual, their gifts, what's going on in their life, even spirit animals, to angel connections, where we talk to loved ones who have passed on. And we also have animal communication, where we get to talk to a lot of animals that come through on each individual person. That brings in some good fun and interaction. So today, though, we have Riley with us, and she drove really far to get here, and I really appreciate that. I absolutely love her. She got to come to Egypt with us and hold the crocodiles and ride the camels. In fact, you were on the trip when we went in to the pyramid by ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was amazing. I love that one. So what do you have for us today?
I've been going through something lately where I feel like I'm meant for so much more. And since Egypt, I've had a ton of opportunities present themselves, and I feel like I've made some progress, but I'm just feeling stuck lately. Like there's something blocking me from knowing what direction to go.
What are some of your opportunities that's coming up in your life?
Yeah, so my current job, I'm a civil foreman for a construction company, and putting me through what they call Ignite leadership training. It's like a year-long program where they teach you everything. You get to learn the bidding side of things. They put you through, management classes and public speaking and just all kinds of different things to help you be better at your job and to give you more opportunities to move up within the company.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like they only picked a few people. I'm really honored they picked me, and I'm excited to do it. But that's, kind of keeps me bound to that job. Right?
Yeah.
I have some other opportunities. I have a friend who started a company who's been begging me to come work with him forever, which is great too. But I don't want to work for somebody the rest of my life. I know that I'm supposed to do something different.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that is yet.
Those are some good opportunities. That Ignite also has you go through public speaking with it as well.
Yes.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
So tell me just a little bit about what have you been experiencing with yourself, and what is this feeling that you're meant for a little bit more? What kind of brings that up that you notice?
I think part of it is the fact that like my entire life is work right now. Like I'm rarely home, maybe a couple days a month if I'm lucky. It's really hard to have any kind of social life outside of work where I'm on the road all the time and working, 14-hour days. But the other side of it is just like, I want to help people. I think I'm meant to help people. And, I have my story has helped people, I know, in some way, just talking to people. But I think there's more to it than that, than just sharing my story. Yeah,
you do have quite the story of triumph.
Yeah.
Do you want to share any of it?
Yeah, I can just a little brief piece, right?
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a hard childhood, and I was exposed to things as a child in my teens, I guess I should say, that led to drug use and, felonies and all of those things. We'll just leave it simple there. But yeah, I was able to get clean and sober when I was 19 or 20. 2018, so it's been a while now.
Yeah.
But, it took me almost dying to get there, and having those felonies and going through some pretty hard things.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's part of why I want to help other people, you know? But there's more to it than just sharing my story and trying to help people in addiction.
Yeah. Do you feel like maybe through the process of helping someone that it wasn't just you, how can I say this? Like you actually really diligently had to go through the steps and really learn it and really reconsider yourself and what you're going to do over and over and over again and recommit. And the process of coming to where you are now, you have this ability that people might get to a certain point and then get stuck. And you'll have this ability to help them with a really small detail that could really help, or a really big one, or a hard thing that's like, right now, you just got to do it type thing. So, what's one thing that you feel like you've really learned out of that journey
Hmm.
that was kind of uniquely yours?
Uniquely mine. That's a tough one. It just amazes me how much somebody can take and continue going.
Mm.
You know, really humbles me and helps me live in gratitude, and that's kind of what I try to hold on to from that part of my life, is just to live in gratitude. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You got not only yourself, but you got to see other people really closely, huh?
Yes.
I know I'm kind of veering into this little story of your life, but it keeps showing up. When you mentioned almost dying, can you kind of take us through that a little bit?
I ended up getting a really bad infection that led to sepsis, and I had no idea. Like, I was just extremely sick, and in my addiction, it was just like, wasn't a big deal, you know? Like, I didn't think to go to the hospital. I thought I was just, maybe I was dope sick or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
My back hurt, and like, I was just like, well, maybe I just hurt my back doing something. I don't know. My sister actually found me basically, and she said I looked gray and like it was just awful. And she made me go to the hospital. And yeah, I found out I had sepsis
Mm.
and my lung had been collapsed for at least a week,
Woo.
maybe longer.
Oh my gosh.
What I thought was back pain was just a collapsed lung.
Oh, jeez.
Just, you know, yeah, basically I was on the brink of death. They admitted me in Riverton and started doing tests, and they were worried it was affecting my heart. They were not able to help me at that hospital. They had to transfer me to the U, where I spent 6 weeks in ICU with the
Wow.
chest tubes trying to drain all the fluid because the infection had basically built up around my lung and caused all this fluid to collapse it. So
Wow.
they tried to drain it, and it didn't work. They had to do surgery, cut out part of my lung. Yeah, it was pretty big deal. Lucky to be alive, you know?
It's really interesting because when somebody's watching this stuff from the outside, sometimes they do like two things where they won't take it as serious as it is, or they'll take it way more serious than you can even understand that's happening to you. But when you realized that moment that you went from, oh, it's just my back, maybe I heard it, maybe I aired it somehow, to, oh my gosh, I am like that close to being dead. What was that like, that realization?
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Yeah. There's a lot of it being in the hospital I don't remember, but I remember that moment of just like, once everybody kind of left the room, it was just me and my sister. I was just like bawling to her, you know? Like, I couldn't believe I'd messed up my life that bad and that young too. I think I was only 17 or 18 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then because in those moments, you yourself have to actually commit one or the other, to live or to die. It's not necessarily a maybe at that point. It's, are you going to stick it out and try to live, or are you going to just let this go?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Yeah. It was hard. Obviously, I wanted to live. Like, I wasn't ready to give up yet. But there were some stumbles after that, you know, where I wasn't really sure what I was doing or whatever. But yeah, I always came back and realized like, I can't do this. Like, I'm gonna die if I continue this way, you know?
Right. There's certain shadows and darknesses that I consider only the brave can see and say willingly to go find out what these spaces are. And the ones that are even more courageous that live through it and come all the way back out again, and then continue on in a life that's theirs, not just whatever's pushing them around. and some of the dark, shadowy things that you've been able to move through and see and come back is actually really a strong power that you have now. What's something that you feel has strengthened you, being able to know these dark shadows and then coming back?
Strengthened me. That's, I think, something I've gained from it that I didn't necessarily have before. I feel like I have this really strong intuition from it. I mean, if I hadn't seen and been through what I'd been through, I don't think I would have. I have this like ability to see things before they happen in a lot of situations, dangerous situations for other people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, I feel like I'm kind of a protector that way, and I have this gut feeling, or I observe something that's off, and I've helped a lot of people that way.
Yeah.
Actually. Like, just for instance, this story keeps coming up to me, but there was this time I was in Lava Hot Springs, and a bunch of girls I was hanging out with, and one of them she wanted to go smoke, and I don't smoke, but I knew I needed to go with her. I jumped up, and she's like, "Why are you coming with me? You don't smoke." I was like, "Just walk with me." And once we got out of earshot of everybody else, I just told her, I was like, "Hey, this guy's going to get out of the pool, and he's going to follow us out to the parking lot, go to my truck." And sure enough, she's like, "How did you know that?"
Whew.
This guy gets out of the parking lot, or comes out to the parking lot, and luckily one of our guys that had been with us had seen it too, so he actually followed that guy out. And I had started talking to our friend, and once the guy had realized that like there was 3 of us out there, he made the connection and left. But
wow,
yeah,
ooh, that one got me, because those are those moments that can happen so fast.
Yeah.
Wow. And just having that courage for you to be like, no, I'm going to act on this. And a lot of people would be, especially women, would be like, boy, what if I'm wrong and I look crazy or something, or overly protective or something.
Yeah.
And that will keep them from following their intuition. And you being able to be like, no, this is what's going on, and I bet it's going to be this.
Mm-hmm.
That's really courageous.
Thank you.
Say. And who knows what you could have saved right there.
Yeah.
The prevention of that. So back to your original question of, I feel like I'm meant for more, that you want to help people. One thing that feels really strong is your natural intelligence. So not just intuition, but your natural intelligence is kind of asking for like how to learn how to bid projects. And so just keep that in a thought, because your intellectual side would find that like really yummy, being able to put all that together and go places, and especially where you do kind of be able to utilize the intuition part. You'll be able to do the numbers. You'll be able to see the projects. You'll have some experience underneath you. And then you'll be able to also feel maybe what else is off about the project. What you would be able to ask questions that maybe another engineer wouldn't even know. Right. And things like that. And it might be just a good thing where you're not continually working, but partially working. That just came up. But on top of that, you can hold safe space with an experienced wisdom. And that doesn't take being like a super nice person. It takes being like solid, right? It takes being not afraid of the unknown and the dark that might be coming in. It takes having that courage to be, I can feel you, and that's as far as you're coming. And tell me a little bit what kind of comes up for you with that.
Yeah, I guess I've always kind of been that person where people just come to me and share, even strangers, because I'm able to hold that space. Not always sure what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
And how, I guess, trying to navigate, like, I love, as far as the work thing goes, I love what I do. I'm continuing to learn the bidding stuff you talked about. I'm excited for that. I want to figure out how to kind of merge these 2 parts of me. It's like the work side and like this ability I have to help people, and how I can figure out how to put those together.
Yeah. Very good. So I would say you might be able to get involved with facilities, rehab facilities, things of that nature, where you can share your experience, but also be like once a week, once a month, come into places and give more input on what could be helping better than whatever they're working on. I think the biggest challenge that you'll have is it's hard to work with the government
Yes.
in the healing space
Yes.
and coming forth with that. But I see not only you with public speaking and sharing these stories that you have had in multiple different places, but also having you create a program where people have had troubles, but are now out of it and trying to get in the rhythm. They're around loved ones, family, workplaces that have no clue what their dark demons are actually still there torturing them, or a place of belonging, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean to you with what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have a little bit of an idea of a program, as you brought up. It's kind of been in the back of my mind for a while. My sister and I have talked about it, but where I could help people and give them basic life skills or job skills, right? Too, on top of this safe space and this sense of belonging. And it was just something that got thrown around a while back, but maybe that is what I need to focus on.
Well, I think it's brilliant because you can also spot when they're just telling a story.
Yeah.
Instead of actually moving forward with things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or they're just not ready to get out of the victim part of it, which can be really challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
I think for me, like positions that you've been in and could be in doing this work would be really getting serious with people on how much do they want to live and how much do they really don't want to live.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is, I've been told you're inviting people to take their lives. And I was like, no, we're not. We're actually inviting them to live. And we're showing them in order to live, you've got to commit to it in a life. And you'll be able to, with a heart that's full and the wisdom that you have and the fearlessness to the energies around, you'll be able to grab their hand and look them in the eye and hit them somewhere that all the illusions can't skew and talk to them and say, what's your truth right now? And help them with that. You know, the hand that they draw of Jesus pulling someone out of the water. It's almost like you'll be able to go in to the murkies just enough that they can hear you and have a real conversation. And then make some choices after that. Besides your sister, do you have other people that you're thinking about working with?
Yeah, if I were to go that route and build a program like that, I definitely do. I have some friends in the recovery community that, I mean, absolutely saved my life, you know, when I needed it.
Yeah.
That I would love to work with on something like that.
Well, I think it's a great avenue for you to start to explore getting more serious with it. Like you could have it running fairly soon.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, the thing back in the day, I could give dates way easier because people didn't move so fast. And now, like, when we start shifting, dates start shifting really fast also. But it's like, I'm seeing if she decides to start to pull into this area a little bit more, you could have a program running in less than a year.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be probably the fall of 2026 that you could start rolling in. And then, boy, you got the holidays.
Yeah.
You'd be diving right in.
Oh, yeah.
Helping them prepare for the holidays, helping them, really figure out some stuff. And you wouldn't have to have it extravagant. You just have it enough so it starts to build a momentum. Do you have any more questions on that?
Nothing's coming up right now. Kind of just sitting with it.
Yeah. And it feels like how you would advertise a lot is by going and speaking places and sharing.
Okay.
And like your team would be who helped pull you out of some scary stuff.
Yeah.
And that would, if I was looking for something like that, I would be looking for someone who's gifted, someone who's been through it, has successfully made it, right? And continues on. And boy, to see her have, for me, that helped her, that would be incredible. I would almost just hand myself over. Like, yes, what will this take? And you could do it a nonprofit.
Yeah.
In that way. And those are always interesting also, but it's a good way to do it so that the pressure's not all on you for financial stuff.
Right.
And there's a lot of programs that way. I would try to find out how much you could stay out of the system. So, meaning you'll have to have qualified people at different levels.
Right.
Depending on what requirements are of a nonprofit or what you're calling it. But if you can stay out of the government the best you can, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Because they'll just hinder you.
Definitely.
They'll make you not actually help them all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bless their hearts. And then, yeah. And you know somebody with horses and animals and all kinds of stuff like that that can start to bring in and incorporate other ways that way.
I'd love that.
Very good.
Yeah.
So do you have any other questions that are kind of coming up of anything?
I don't think so. I think I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. How has it been with partial lungs being gone?
Yeah. Well, you know, it was hard at first, I guess, but I just live with it, right? So
Yeah.
I don't really notice a difference. I couldn't tell you what it'd be like to have 2 lungs at this point.
Right.
So.
I guess that's true, huh? Well, I have loved getting to know you, and I've loved your courage. I loved witnessing you in groups and just how you interact in the different spaces that I've seen you in. I don't know where you've learned your patience, but good job.
Thank you.
You could tell like you're like really working it at that moment, but you've always just been super good and showed up very well for people that I've seen you with. What was Egypt like for you?
Man, it was amazing. Not only do I feel like I've gained so much from that trip, but I've been told from the people that see me the most that I seem different, that I think a big part of it is just like I've really stepped into my power. I've really taken control this last year and a half, however long it's been.
Yeah.
And really focused on working on me and like spiritually and physically and just all of it. You know?
Yeah. Well, they loved you. A lot of people just talked a lot about you in a good way in the group, and even afterwards. And what was your best part?
Swimming the Nile.
Yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah.
And I had my broken arm that time, so I was and shoulder.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
were all
oh
beat
my
up.
gosh.
Yeah.
So I didn't go quite with you guys that time. That one bummed me out. But yeah, thanks for driving down and sharing and being vulnerable. This is going to be really good. Let us know what you guys thought and felt, and in the comments. She's a neat person to know, and we love her very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having her. Get over through.